And welcome back in, everybody. Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy, brought to you by Sundale Country Club, home of the Bakersfield City Championship for over 30 years. Call them at 661-831-5224 or sundalecountryclub.com today online for tee times.
As I mentioned earlier, joining us right now is Jack Avrit, sophomore, almost ready to finish his sophomore year at Santa Clara College. The Broncos had a pretty good year. I know you did, Jack. And a big story happened yesterday. So, Jack, first of all, welcome to the show. How are you, sir?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
So, Jack's been on the show many times. He's family to the Golf Talk Radio, and it feels like family to me. I've known him for 15 to 18 years or something like that, and most of his young life. And so... Yesterday, Jack went down to try to qualify for the next step for the U.S. Open. And we're talking about, yes, the U.S. Open that's coming up at Pebble Beach here in the first part of June. And so he came down. Do they call it the local qualifier, Jack? What's the official name?
Yeah, local. It goes local qualifying and then sectional qualifying and then, yeah.
So we mentioned earlier before you came on that you guys went down to La Prisma, and Jim used to work there, and we all know what a bear that golf course is and how it can show its teeth. And you went down there with how many players in the field, roughly, Jack?
I think there was like 75.
Okay, and
that's about right, 75 or 80.
And the low five and ties, if I'm not right, went through. Is that right?
The low five went through. There was a playoff if there was ties, and then two alternates.
Oh yeah, the low five, not antis. The low five. If there were ties, there's a playoff. So they took 5 out of the 75. And I'm happy to say, and we mentioned it before you came on, that yes, you made it through to the next stage, which is coming up. So tell us yesterday, man. Before that, let me back up. A week ago, you came down here to the Central Coast to pretty much your home and went over to Cypress Ridge to try to qualify for the U.S. AM. Is that right? Or the California AM?
California State AM.
Yeah. How did that go?
That went well. Also.
So
that was, course that I've played a lot since that was my high school's home course, and was able to go out and put together a pretty solid round. And there were only 2 spots in that qualifier, but I was able to take second and move on. And that's at Monterey Peninsula Country Club, so that should be pretty fun too.
Only 2 spots.
What'd you shoot, Jack? I forget. What'd you shoot on?
I shot 70, 2 under.
Congratulations again.
And so, but only 2 spots, awesome. And you know that going in, they're taking 2 spots, right, Jack? I mean, you know that.
Yeah, we knew, and I played in the Cal Stadium last year as well. And I kind of knew how the qualifier would go. You kind of, if you break par, you got a pretty good shot. So I just kind of went out and tried to manage the round well. I actually had 36 putts that day, but the front 9, I had 3 2-putt birdies. So
you hit it. You just hit it
I hit the ball pretty well, and kind of managed to keep the score where I wanted it. And
so that sounds to me that you had 0, if any, bogeys, because they were 2 under for your round, right?
Yeah, I had one bogey. Is that right?
Might have been a 3-putter then.
I had 2.
Okay.
I had one 1-putt birdie. Yeah, I had 2 bogeys. I had one 1-putt birdie, which is my only 1-putt of the day, and then I had a 3-putt par as well, and then I didn't get up and down twice.
But so not putting the eyes out of it, and you still were one of the 2 qualifiers. So congratulations going into this Cal Am. Have you played the Monterey Peninsula? Have you played it?
I haven't. It's the one course in that whole Monterey area I haven't played.
Well, you can check that off, and I've heard it's amazing. I have not played it either. I've been on the property once. So that was I never played Cypress like you have either, too, Jack, or Mike Brabenik. Have you, Jim? Oh, God.
Twice?
You played? Oh, man, let's cut this interview short.
Wow.
So anyway,
like a hole-in-one, Jack.
I'm jealous of you all, but Jack, so you came back, you went back to school, you came back down, and you went to try to qualify for the U.S. Open yesterday, right? And good plays continuing, I guess.
Yeah, it was, Prisma's a tough course. I don't think I had broken par out there before. I always have a pretty hard time on that back 9 kind of keeping it together, because you get to the end of that course and there are some tough holes. 17 and 18 are always, if you can get on the stretch 14 through 18, if you can get through there and pretty much even par, that's you're going to have a pretty good shot.
Even 14 is the weirdest hole in golf.
Yeah,
and then 15 is that.
I had a lot of adventure on that hole.
15 is that weird par 5 that you don't know how it bends.
What'd you score for those 5 holes? What'd you make on those holes?
I was 1 over on those 5. I I had a couple there. It was kind of a crazy 5 holes though, which I can get into in a little bit. But I bogeyed 17 was my one bogey, and that was even that I hit a shot right at the pin, and we just misjudged the yardage because it's so difficult to get a good number there with the wind and the downhill.
Yeah, it's a great little. I've hit 5 irons on that hole, and I've hit 8 irons on that hole. So that's an interesting hole. But
that's exactly what it's like.
But Jack was 3 under through 16. So that's pretty solid golf.
Wow.
And he started off with a flash, too. And you started off on fire, Jack. Can you share the first hole with us?
Yeah. So first hole I hit a good wedge in there about 5 feet for birdie and didn't hit a great putt and kind of pulled it and went to, the ball was an inch away from a hole at most. And I went to kind of backhand it in. And I wasn't really paying attention. And I caught so little of the top of the ball that it rolled onto the edge of its dimple and then back into the same exact spot.
Oh.
And so it was basically a whiff. And so I made, bogey after having 5 feet for birdie.
Wow.
What a bounce back.
That's exactly right. What a way to focus back. Did Hale Irwin, I believe, did that once, and it was the famous whiff, and he lost.
Jordan Spieth did it a little bit.
And he lost in a playoff at a major. I think it was the PGA Hale Irwin. He went to do the backhand or the one hand, and it was over the top of the ball. So Jim just mentioned it, too. That is enough to just get people going, oh, my God, first hole, here it goes. But that didn't happen to you, and you matter of fact, you birdied 2, which is a really good little hole.
I kind of used it as it's a weird thing that happened, but it'll be a good story once I qualify. Was kind of my mindset.
That's awesome.
After that hole, and going into the next, I was in an interesting group. I wasn't. A couple of the guys made. Remarks to each of the guys made a remark to my caddy on the second hole that I felt was kind of rude, to say the least. It wasn't, they spoke to him a little rudely, and I had a 7-foot putt for birdie, and I just was like, okay, it's time to beat these guys by 20. So.
Did they ever apologize at the end when you're accepting the move on card and they're not?
No, they weren't. I don't know if they were necessarily trying to be. I doubt they were trying to be rude or anything. But just that they're, you end up playing with some different people, and you get some groups that you like and some that you kind of don't really ever talk to the guys. And when you get those kind of groups, you just kind of have to get into your own world, and it helps to have a caddy with you. And I had. As you guys know, Rory Dahl caddy for me, and he did a great job keeping us kind of focused in, and we just kind of stayed in our own little world. And I knew my whole goal going in was obviously to I knew if I could get a decent front 9 in and hold it together on the back, I'd have a good shot. And what I was able to do.
Well, it's amazing, Jack. I've known you forever, but you've just grown up. It's really cool to hear you talk and to actually hear about your round. And you've just grown up to this great quality player. I'm so proud of you. You had the foresight. I talked to your dad. Of course, I'm trying to live your rounds through texting from your grandpa and people that are out there watching you. And, of course, I couldn't be out there. But the stories that we're hearing and stuff, it's pretty neat to follow you. But you had the foresight when you finished at 200, and you were, if I'm not mistaken, you were one of the more early finishers. But you knew at some point why you thought for sure you were going to be in a playoff, and you told your dad that.
I kind of was.
So,
and I know you were. Most interesting playoff of my career.
But we're going to get to that. I want to get that in a second, Jack. But I want to know why you knew, because a lot of the field was still out there. And of course it's hard, man. But you said to your dad, "I think I'm going to be in a playoff." This was a hour or two. I don't know exactly that you would, but before, how did you know that 200 was probably going to be in a playoff? How'd you know that?
Well, when you play in enough of these qualifiers, you see what scores come in, and you kind of know. I mean, going in, you can obviously see the field, so you kind of know who the players are, because you tend to get into these qualifiers and there's 80 players or so in the field, and there's generally speaking about 25 or 30 guys who have a really good shot to get there, and then another 25 or 30 guys who can have a good day and put up a good number, and then you get then part of the field is just kind of out there for fun. And there was one guy who I'm sure really enjoyed shooting 98 out there. He almost made it.
Dang, if it wasn't for that 14th hole, man.
yeah. I mean, I heard he made like a 32 or something on that hole. Really good golf otherwise.
That's tough when you pay the entry fee to get in these events and you go out and shoot that kind of number.
Yeah.
Ouch.
But anyway, in the past, I'd played that qualifier in the past, and I knew that a lot of times 70 was pretty much guaranteed, and 72
was close.
Gets you in a playoff. But what was different about this time is Prisma normally gets really windy, and there wasn't much wind.
Right.
And the rough was up, so that did make it a little tougher. But I could just kind of tell based on the way the course was playing, and I knew there were a lot of good players to come in because I was T2 when I got in, and I just kind of knew that it was going to be close, and it came all the way up until the end.
Well, it turns out you were in a playoff. So they took 5. There was 2 at 68s, and there were 4 of you at 70. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
And then 3 of you were going to play for the 4 of you were going to play for the remaining 3 spots. Is that correct?
Yeah.
That was the plan.
That was correct.
So what happened?
We didn't. That wasn't the case to last group because it was. I was shocked the score was holding up because it was 5 guys at 70 or less with about 7 or 8 groups to come in, and I was in my mind I was sure a couple people were going to come in lower, or at least tie it, and it got all the way down to the last group, and it was a twosome. So I'm like, okay, maybe I have a shot, and then of course one of the guys comes in with 70 to force the playoff.
Yeah.
And so we're all thinking, get ready for a playoff, and then we hear the USGA officials talking, and I guess the first guy that came in with 70 had to leave.
Jeez. He left,
and they don't know what he was doing, but he just said he had to leave and took off, and
so that opened the door for you. So you did not have to play off.
Well, we did because we had to walk down to the tee and wait 5 minutes for him not to show up until he was officially disqualified from the playoff, and then the 3 of us moved on, and he was the first alternate.
Oh my gosh!
Wow! Imagine shooting 2 under and leaving. I got a lunch date,
and that's
I got this thing.
I got a lesson.
I got this thing.
I got a thing. Well, congrats! So how cool, Jack! I'm so proud of you. And now you're moving on. Is there some kind of a ceremony? Do they hand you your ticket? Your golden ticket?
Not at this one. They pretty much give you the little sheet that says congratulations, and you get an email, and then. I'm sure it'll be a little bit more formal if I end up moving on through the next round.
Well, Jack, we got to take a break. The time restraints. Don't go anywhere.
Mm-hmm. We can keep going.
Oh, I thought you gave me the sign.
No, I did. I'm sorry.
So
I'm managing
is there
time.
a mosquito out there?
Yeah. Sorry.
So, Jack, welcome back to the show, Jack.
Thank you.
We're good.
So,
good amount of time.
Final topic is you're moving on. You're one of the 5 going down, and I say going down because I know where you're going. But where are you going, and what's the next step? What happens?
So, June 3rd is the sectionals date. You play 2 courses in one day. One of them is Newport Country Club, which I haven't played, but I've heard it's pretty much
it's short. I played it once.
Course.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
And that's where they have. They still have the Toshiba or something. They still have a senior Champions Tour event there.
Didn't you just go down there with
Used
Owen?
to be.
Or where did you guys
go?
No,
we went to Long Beach.
Long Beach.
Yeah, we went to. Yeah. So you're going there. And what's the other one that you have played?
The other one's Big Canyon Country Club. It was the site of our first collegiate event this spring for the team, and I top 10'd there. I took 8th.
Wow.
So I know I can play the course well, and that's a course where I hit 3 drivers, 1 3-wood, and every other tee shot besides par 3s is a driving iron.
Wow, so tight little course.
So it's all about if you get it and play off the tee and keep the ball below the hole, you can score, and that's just kind of what you have to do. So
do you often play? When's the last time you played 36 in one day? I know you're young and healthy.
We play it all the time.
Oh, you do.
Most collegiate events are only 2 days, so they play 36 the first day and 18 the second.
Okay.
So I played. Last time I played was in Purdue in. I don't even know where Purdue is. Indiana, that's where it was. We played 36 the first day, and then the final day got canceled because there was a chance of snow. But we were all okay with that because we got to go to Buffalo Wild Wings and watch Tiger win the Masters. So there were worse places to be.
Well, I want to say, because I don't know if a lot of people know, people in the golf, people in the business know, and people follow golf, but the qualifyings have a lot of great players, including tour players. And even at the one you were just at, Purisma, there's fully exempt web.com tour. There are people that are sticks out there because they're not exempt for the Open.
Those are the guys you watch for. Because, like, I got in and I was excited to see one of the guys who I knew had full web.com status. I beat by a couple shots. And then it was the same thing. We're looking at the guys that were coming in when we're waiting, and we're just like, hey, this is a web player. This guy's really good, you know.
Right.
You kind of pick out the guys who you think have a good shot coming in. And one of the guys we knew was really good. We watched come into 18 and hit one to about 2 feet. We're like, okay, he probably played well, and he ended up at 68. So it's all a guessing game. You're just kind of trying to chip around and
the sectional is going to have
keep your mind off it. But,
your next event is but it's got to make you feel great and confident that you're hanging with the big boys, because they are. I mean, these guys are experienced tournament players, and you're getting that way. But it must make you feel good with your confidence. And the next step, there are PGA Tour players trying to qualify. They're not in the event, so you're going, and it's just got to be so much. You got to be so excited. And what's the target score, Jack? 36-hole target score.
I don't know fully. I know a lot of sites you shoot around 8 under. You got a good shot. But I mean, it's all going to depend on the conditions of the courses and how they play. I'll have a much better idea. I think I know pretty much how Big Canyon's going to play. I think if you go out there and shoot about 3 under, it's a pretty good score, because it means you've kept the ball in play off the tee. And
Newport, they can grow the rough. They could grow the rough a lot.
Obviously, I haven't played, but if it is driver wedge, then I'm gonna assume if you're getting the ball in play off the tee, 5 under would be a good score. So 8 under wouldn't surprise me if that's about it. But I generally try to go out. I don't really like to go out and say I have to shoot this number, because then that's in your head all day, and I just kind of, I feel like I play better when
you're not going to tell me you're playing one shot at a time these days, Jack. Are you playing one shot at a time these days, Jack?
I'm doing my best to.
I
mean, obviously I'm a pretty outcome-based player, so my head will go to, what I'm at and where I want to get to. But I've worked a lot the last year and trying to kind of bring it back to the moment, and less trying to force myself to not go to the future, but more recognizing that I'm going to go there and bringing it back to the present, so I can.
You're making me cry.
Do my best for the shot.
I'm so proud of you, Jack. Jim has a question. I'm just so proud of you as your former coach and somebody who grew up with you alongside you. I couldn't be more proud of anybody, Jack. Way to go. I know Jim has a question for you.
I don't. I have a thing to help you. Maybe text me if you want my brother. You want to talk to my brother? He was on Irvine's team, and he played Big Canyon and Irvine Coast. That's what it was called before, Newport. So he's got really good knowledge about that. He's really intelligent. You could pick his brain if you want. So
that'd be awesome.
Let me know. Text me, okay?
Yeah. Well, thank you.
The inside scoop.
Wow. Can I get that number too, Jim?
Yes.
All right, man. Thanks. Jack,
tomorrow. Jack gets
best of luck. Congratulations to you. Thanks for checking in with your former coach a lot. I really appreciate the updates. More than you know, Jack. I'll see you.
Thanks for having me.
Bye, Jack.
See you later.
Anytime, Jack. Good luck, man.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Jack Avrit from Rio Grande, California. Currently sophomore finished almost with Santa Clara, and had a good year at school. And here he is. How exciting would it be if he gets up there and gets to the dance at Pebble Beach?
But would any of us be surprised?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if that's the right word. I would be way pleasantly surprised. But, the quality, wow. I mean, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty. But also, Josh Worthing, too.
I know.
Josh, fascinating.
He's back-to-back 68s and 2 qualifiers. Local guy, too.
Like Jack.
And it would be so exciting. And, of course, it would be not too surprised. But there's tour players, man. There's people doing this. I love. There was a day I made that number one time, but a long time ago.
I love listening to Jack's mentality right now. I just think it's
look
awesome.
At him growing up.
I know. I just think it's so cool.
Man,
he's right where he should be.
No doubt.
Right where he needs to be.
What perfect answers? How cool is that?
Yeah.
Future to the present.
He was
awesome.
He was always outcome.
Yeah.
I mean, quick.
I remember you telling me that.
And now look at him. They said, so I'm so proud. And it's boy. he gets that on right, he's look out. You're right.
So cool.
Not too surprised. So, anyways, you want to take?
Right. We'll take our second break here. Golf Talk Radio brought to you by McPhee's Grill of Templeton, hometown cooking through and through. Give them a shout at 805-434-3204. McPhee'sGrill.com online. You can make reservations online, view the menus as well. Don't forget about Ian's famous barbecue sauce, and he has a butcher shop, so you can take home aged Angus ribeye steak, porterhouse, or filet mignon. That's McPhee's Grill of Templeton, McPhee'sGrill.com, 805-434-3204. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Bill.
It is hot.